स्पॉटलाइट में आपका स्वागत है। मैं हूं आपकी होस्ट अमीता। Join me weekly as I talk to inspiring guests who will share their success stories. आज हमारे साथ स्टूडियो में है एक Indo-Canadian soprano who is the only contestant to ever receive a standing ovation in the history of Miss India Canada pageant. An actor, a model, a dancer, a yoga instructor, and a humanitarian who is a shining role model for today's youth. It's my pleasure to welcome to our studio Miss Mehar Pavri. Hi, Mehar.
Hi.
It's amazing to have you here.
Thank you for having me.
There's so much about you we want to share with the audience. But before that, tell us a little bit more about your upbringing and education.
Yeah, so I grew up in London, Ontario, and I always had a passion for music ever since I was really little, and I saw Pavarotti and the Three Tenors perform on TV, and I didn't know what they were saying because they were singing in Italian, but I just knew something in me just drew me passionately towards this kind of medium, which is opera. And so then when I was 14 years old, I started taking singing lessons. And then after high school, I decided to study music at university. So I finished my degree in music, and then I've been doing professional opera since then.
And yeah, we are proud of whatever you're doing, and we're going to share about the projects that you have done.
But
again, coming back to soprano, or opera, it's not typical for South Asian, if you want to put it that way. So were there any challenges that you had to overcome?
Not with my parents, surprisingly, because they always just told me do whatever you love and do it really well. And so they didn't force me to go into anything like science or medicine. The only things that started frustrating me was when I was meeting other Indian people, and they would say, oh, like music is a degree, is that really a thing? And it's sort of frustrating to break those barriers of, yes, this is what I really do for a living.
That's true. It's like, why haven't you become an engineer or a doctor, right? Yeah. No, but you're doing such amazing work and spreading positivity, and people look up to you because I know you've done some amazing projects. Tell the audience about some of the projects you've done.
Yeah, so apart from opera, I get to sing at really special gigs. So I've sung at the Raptors game, which is awesome because I'm obsessed with the Raptors. So singing at NBA games is super fun. And doing opera, like I just finished a show right now, and it was an opera all about bullying. So it was really interesting to get to be a part of an opera with a purpose behind it as well.
I have to come back to the Toronto Raptors. How did you land that amazing opportunity?
Thank you. Well, I auditioned for them. And you have to be approved by people in Toronto and New York. And then ever since I started doing it a few years ago, I've just been doing it since. Nav Bhatia has Diwali nights and Vaisakhi nights, and so he always invites me for those kinds of things, which is awesome because I also love representing our community.
I love it, and obviously it's because you're great at what you do that they want you back again and again.
Thank you.
And I've watched some of the videos that Nabati has put out there. And the audience is amazed, and you have such an amazing voice quality.
Thank you.
And you just told about how you're using the singing also for causes. So is that stuff, are there more projects you want to do related to singing and attached to causes, like you said, with bullying?
Definitely. I mean, this opera that I was just in really touched upon important topics like cyberbullying and what it's like to be bullied in today's society. So I really hope that tours around to high schools and we get to perform it for youth. That would be amazing. I love using my voice for different causes, so I sing it in a bunch of different charity causes, charity concerts and that kind of thing. I also volunteer every week at a hospice, and I sing every week for the patients there.
So you heal with your music.
I hope so.
Sometimes doctors can't do that, so music heals.
Yes.
Now I have to ask you, coming back to the South Asian roots, do you ever get asked to sing in the typical genre, like, what's out there? Like, can you sing Bollywood for us? Do you get requests like that?
Yeah, I always do, but I didn't grow up watching Bollywood movies, so I don't speak Hindi. We're Parsi, so my parents speak Gujarati at home. but I've never learned Indian classical singing, but I always get asked to do that. So maybe one day, but it's a totally different technique. So I don't know.
But I know you will excel at it if you want to take it up. But what is amazing is you are doing something mainstream, and that's what we want to see, South Asians become part of the mainstream community, and you're making us proud by becoming mainstream.
Awesome.
Now, there's more to you than being that singer and the person who is doing things for a cause. We'll find out more, but before that, it's time for a short break. Spotlight में फिर से आपका स्वागत है. We are talking to Miss Mehar Pavri. We found out that she's a soprano, but beyond that, she's well known in the world of acting and modeling. In fact, she's a multi-dimensional performer and artist. So Mehar, you have been Miss India Canada 2007. Wow. And you have received a standing ovation because of the talent section. You actually, showed the people what amazing voice quality you have with your singing.
Yeah.
But tell us a little bit more about that journey and whether it, led to more modeling projects.
It totally did, actually. Luckily for me, because I had such a strong talent of singing to be showcased, Sanjay, the organizer of the Miss India Canada pageant, really got my foot in the door everywhere. I mean, I started performing anything that had to do with India and Canada. I was there. I was there in attendance just for being Miss India Canada, but also I got the opportunity to perform. So that really was a stepping stone for me, because I just got thrown into all these great situations where I could perform and be myself, So it led me to great singing opportunities, and also fashion shows and photo shoots and all of that kind of stuff. And you really hang on to all the amazing people that you meet along the way, and I was really blessed to meet some really amazing people.
Well, I must say, you also have such a great personality yourself. I think you attract that kind of a networking of people too.
Oh, awesome.
So I think you start with a platform like Miss India Canada 2007 or beyond, but that's a platform given to you, but I think it's your own hard work and perseverance that has taken you
Totally,
forward,
just
right?
like in everything. I mean, your year of Miss India Canada is really up to you and what you make it. So I had a bunch of goals. I wanted to do a lot of charity work, so I did that when I was in India. And it also led me to so many great singing gigs.
Interesting. I just heard you charity work in India.
Yeah.
Can you elaborate more on that?
Yeah, so when I was Miss India Canada, I picked a charity that I was really close to. And my mom being a doctor, I wanted to focus also on health issues as well, and education. So I went to India and I found a charity organization. It's called CHIP Mumbai. And this school is for kids, and they have a doctor on site, and they provide them with good medicine and food as well throughout the day. And so I organized a charity concert for them too. Yeah.
Amazing. You do so much. And that's great that we have somebody, I would call you an ambassador almost, taking our South Asian culture, but spreading good word through the work that you do.
Yeah. I think it's so important to give back in whatever you're doing.
Now, coming back then with the platform that was given to you, I know I've seen you in many short films, but you have a major movie that's coming out.
Yeah.
So as an actor, tell us more. We're excited to find out.
Yeah, so I am in the movie Pixels right now with Adam Sandler, which is like a dream come true, because the same guy that directed this movie, Christopher Columbus, he's the same person that directed Home Alone, which is a movie that I grew up on.
Well, as soon as you said Adam Sandler, you had me.
Yeah.
So that's great.
Yeah,
So
it
how was
amazing.
the experience?
It was awesome. I was actually speaking Hindi in the movie.
And we heard from you that you don't, so
No,
that's
so I had a dialect coach, which was really nice.
wow. See,
Yeah.
that's hard work there, right? you know,
Yeah.
you don't know the language, but as an actor, you work hard towards it.
Yeah.
And you've ended up with an amazing role.
Yeah.
So sorry, go ahead. And you were saying.
Yeah, so it's out in theaters right now.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So there we go. You can go and watch Mehar in Pixels with Adam Sandler. That's amazing. And again, coming back to the fact that, you know, sometimes South Asians get typecasted, or, you know, we don't get as an artist maybe certain roles in mainstream, but you are being that exception and, you know, leading the way for many of us out there, including myself, you know, to get into mainstream. So that is amazing. Wow, there's so much you do, Mehar. And I hear beyond that, you're also a dancer, a trained dancer.
Yeah.
So tell us a little bit more about that.
Yeah, I grew up doing Bharatanatyam. And actually, my Bharatanatyam teacher also teaches yoga in London, Ontario. And so she sort of inspired me to do both, because after a long dance class, your muscles are all sore and everything. And she would lead us through certain yoga postures. And that's kind of where my interest got piqued. And I was like, hey, I really want to learn about this further.
Nice.
Yeah.
So, yes, you said you grew up with South Asian roots, but maybe you paved your own way into mainstream, but you're still keeping those South Asian roots and taking us forward. And we heard about yoga. We want to find out more. But before that, lete hai ek chota sa break. स्पॉटलाइट में फिर से आपका स्वागत है। हम बात कर रहे थे मिस मेहर पावरी से, and now you get to hear a sample of what this amazing singer has to offer us.
So this is a little snippet of Ave Maria by Schubert.
Amazing. I just love your sound quality and you know how much emotion you put into it.
Thank you.
And that's actually one of my favorite pieces too.
Oh, awesome.
You know, I feel like so divine with it.
Yeah.
And so there you have it. See how amazing it is, like you have gone into mainstream. Now, what you already heard is she's also into yoga. So we have Miss Mehar Pavri from the world of glitz and glamour to a yoga instructor.
Yeah.
You already touched upon it a bit, but tell us more. You know, what made you go into it full-fledged as a yoga instructor?
Well, I've always been really into sports growing up, and even now, and I feel like singing, being a singer, a professional singer, is kind of like being an Olympic athlete a little bit.
Interesting.
because being an opera singer, you're really using your whole body when you're singing. You're not just singing from up here. You know, you really have to get into your legs and use your diaphragm a lot. And I found that with yoga, it was all just kind of like all my worlds colliding into one, you know?
Well said. Okay.
Because like I think it's a full body experience with singing. I also really enjoyed the meditation aspect of it. By meditating every day, I find that I'm a lot more calm when I have to be in really high stress situations, or like singing at Raptors games in front of 17,000 people. If I don't meditate, I'll feel very nervous. And so I feel like it just helps me all over, and I really also enjoy teaching yoga as well.
Amazing. So it, like you said, it brings together everything in one spot, and it's like mind, body, and soul fitness.
Totally, it makes
one.
you feel so good.
It's amazing.
Yeah.
So with the yoga, in terms of instructing, where can we find you? Like, how do we come to you? Because we would love to have you as an instructor.
Yeah. Well, I do teach privately. So if you go onto my website, meharpavri.com, you can contact me on there. But I mainly teach at arts high schools.
Okay.
In their gym classes or for art students.
Okay, yeah. So it sounds like, again, you're shining role model for the youth, and then you're taking yourself out there and showing them by example. Amazing. Are there any projects we can look forward to with everything that we have heard about you?
Yeah, definitely. One show I know I have for sure coming up is Handel's Messiah, which is in December. And if you just Google Against the Grain Theater, you can find out how to get tickets. We're performing at the Harbourfront Centre. And it's not a regular Messiah, it's actually a staged, choreographed version, and we're going to be in dresses, so it's definitely not your typical Messiah, and you can have drinks, have poutine while you're watching the show, so it's going to be really different, but it'll be amazing. We did sort of a similar thing 2 years ago, but now they're making it bigger and better.
Amazing. There's nothing typical about this amazing lady. Like, everything is outside the box, and I love it. So definitely the show will be also outside the box, and I'm sure, out of this world too.
Yeah.
So you're everywhere, Mehar. Like, you talked about how you're, international, you go to India, you're doing a lot of shows, and you're doing different things in different fields in the world of glitz, glamour, in yoga. How do you do it all?
Deep breath. I really, like, when you love what you do, it doesn't feel like work. And I still can't believe I get paid to do what I do. So, I mean, it really doesn't feel like work to me because I genuinely love everything that I'm doing.
And that brings me back to the fact of you, again, our South Asian roots, and you told your parents were supportive right from the get-go. Does that make a difference too, do you think?
It totally does, because I think there was an extra fire under my butt to just keep going and make sure everything works out. Because you never want to disappoint your parents.
That's a good way to put it. But you are not. You're actually making them proud and the whole community proud.
Thanks.
Now, you already have a lot on your plate.
Yeah.
And you're doing what you love.
Yeah.
But I have to ask you, do you have any other hobbies or things that you do to relax? This is work. Yes, you did say if it's something you're passionate about, it doesn't feel like work. But hey, work is work. So do you have time to do relaxation with other stuff?
Totally. Well, when I'm not teaching yoga, I love going to yoga classes too.
Nice.
I have a ton of hobbies. I'm obsessed with bikes, like motorcycles and cars.
Whoa, where did that come from?
I know. My sister is an auto mechanical engineer, and so I feel like she kind of put this love for fast cars into me. So I have a motorcycle.
Really interesting. We have, you have an actor, a model, a dancer, a yogi. And the picture you get is somebody, who is timid, and all of a sudden, where did this Tom girl come from?
Yeah.
So tell us more. Sorry, I was just, blown away by that.
Yeah, well, I was basically raised by my dad, who was home most of the time because my mom was busy working. And so he kind of put us into all sorts of sports, and that I just sort of stayed with me.
Okay, yeah, pardon me, you did say you were interested in sports, but for some reason the motorbike part of it just blew me away.
I have a need for speed.
So what do you do, like, on a yearly basis to, fulfill that kind of interest of yours?
It's hard to do it all year round because when you're riding your motorcycle, it's only in the summer months. And then in the winter time, it's very hard. But luckily, one of my sisters lives in California, so
Whoa,
so I could drive fast cars all year round if I wanted to.
Do you actually have a club or something that you're part of? Okay.
Yeah. I started a motorcycle crew in London, Ontario. So it's me and 3 other girlfriends, and we're all the same age, and we all just go cruising together. It's really fun.
Nice. Do you plan to take it any further than just being a hobby?
I'm not sure.
A soprano who is riding into with
I would love to maybe report on or talk about which cars I'm test driving or something, and maybe something will happen with that. I don't know. I just love test driving really nice fast cars.
So do you have any recommendations for the audience from what you have?
Oh my gosh, right now I'm always obsessed with BMW M3s. They're my favorite, like the E46, the older models. And the AMG C63, the Mercedes-Benz, that's such a beautiful car. I mean, I'm always dying to take cars out on a racetrack.
You're just, the opportunity arises and you go for it. You have so much to you, Mehar. It's amazing. And you see a girl sitting there, you know, beautiful, gorgeous, timid, humble girl sitting there. You don't know what all is in there. But I love the fact that you're going full force with everything that you're passionate about.
Thank you.
I know there are so many youth out there who have dreams, you know, and especially with South Asians, sometimes like we talked about, you're put in a box or typecasted, or you're asked to do things that have been passed on for generations. But somebody like you, who has decided to go with your heart, supportive parents, but you made the decision what you wanted to do, and it's hats off to you, and we're proud of you. But I was wondering if for those youth who aspire to be like you, if you had any words of wisdom, advice, that would be great.
Yeah, I would just say do what makes you happy and figure out what that is and go at it full force. And literally anything is possible. I mean, tell people about your dreams, talk to friends, family, meditate on it, think about it, visualize it. Figure out what success means to you personally, because success would mean something totally different to me than it does to you or anybody else.
Well said.
And figure out what that is, and focus all your attention on that.
That's a very well said in terms of words of wisdom. I have to come back to what you just said. So yeah, focus on what you want to do, and which in your case is a lot of different things, and that's okay too.
Totally. For me, it's everything to do with the arts. So as long as I'm getting a way to express myself and my emotions, whether it be through acting or with my voice, then I'm happy.
Amazing. That actually triggered a curious question in my mind. You do a lot of different things. Is there any one particular thing you lean more towards?
Definitely singing.
Singing?
Definitely, yeah.
Okay.
That'll always be my first love.
And it shows too in terms of this what we heard from you today.
Oh, thank you.
So then along those lines, I had another question for you. You did mention, yes, in opera singing or being a soprano, you have to focus more on using the diaphragm. And I hear like in Indian or South Asian music, we focus a lot more on the throat. Is that correct?
Oh, I'm not sure what the technique is for other styles of singing, but I know for bel canto singing, which is what we are all trained in, it's definitely, nice low breaths, and your support system is nice and low.
Okay, amazing. Well, Mehar, I could go on and on talking to you because you're such an inspirational role model, like I was mentioning. So much positivity coming from you. And the more I talk, I figure out more and more about you. Thank you so much for taking the time to come and talk to us today.
No, thank you for having me.
We wish you all the best with all the projects, the one in December, watching Pixels in theater, and much more. So we find out more about Mehar at meharpavri.com, and you will continue to amaze us more and more. Thank you so much, Mehar.
Thank you.
तो ये थे मिस मेहर पावरी, जिन्होंने हमें एहसास दिलाया है कि सपनों को सच करना हमारे हाथ में है. Well, that's a wrap for this week's show. Thank you for watching us. We'll continue to bring you inspiring guests every week who will share their success stories. So follow us on Facebook and Twitter, and of course, write to me at vgamithaspotlight@gmail.com. Well, this is Amitha signing off for this week, encouraging you to be a go-getter and work hard towards your own spotlight.